What is going on, guys? Good morning to all of you. How's everybody doing today? I got my guy Mazza joining me this morning from the Ford Train
Good morning.
Express. Thanks for joining, man.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having
we're
me.
gonna be we're gonna be talking about the Yankees, how they're looking in spring training, how we're all feeling about them, and who's turning heads so far, who's catching everybody's attention. But before I begin, if you guys haven't, please smack that like button. It would greatly be appreciated. If you guys are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. If you could all help me get there, I would greatly appreciate it. But let's holler at the chat here. Who do we have? We got Jonathan in the building, who's always in the chats. Guy never
Always.
sleeps. Stephen B, time supporter. I love my guy Stephen B. JJ, what's going on, JJ? Anthony Garcia, what's going on, my guy? And then Frederick, how's it going? Good morning to you. Who else? We got Oakley. What's going on, Oakley? How you doing? Dennis, what's going on? Welcome. So, yeah, how are you feeling about this team right now? Like how they, they're looking good in spring training. What do you think, man?
I want the season to start already.
Oh, you
I am excited for this team, man. I have never been this giddy for a Yankee team since '09. I think this is the longest, this is the most giddy I've been about this team just because of everything that's going on. They got that swag that they were looking for in Verdugo and Soto. I mean,
yeah,
you couldn't get a better duo to bring swag to a team. So they got that going. They've got all this depth that I am so excited for. And if we look at the pitching, I mean, look at how many pitchers Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner brought in this year. It wasn't just Strowman. It was the little guys, Birdie, Poteet, Morris, all of them. Victor Gonzalez. I mean, I am so excited for this team. And, you know, it's great because as Yankee fans, this has been a long time coming.
yeah. Real quick, I wanted to shout out Cold Italian Pizza. What's going on, man? I like the name. And Uncle Tats of the Pinstripe Chronicles.
Ah,
Good, my guy. Yo, if you got a minute, feel free to jump on, dude. You already know.
yeah, man.
Yeah, some of those names that you mentioned, I'm excited. I am excited for those guys. Morris is looking good.
Yep.
What's his face? Vivas. That guy's
Yes.
attention. Yorbit Vivas.
You know who was a nice surprise to see was how well Rodon pitched.
Yes. Yeah,
That was so that was almost like that
What's up,
weight
Jeff?
on that was almost like that weight on our shoulders was just lifted when
Mhm.
we saw him throw, because he looked like the asshole that we got him for. You know, he was mean. He came at hitters. He didn't hesitate. He didn't back down, and he showed that confidence. And that's what we needed out of him last year, which we couldn't get. But he came into camp looking slimmer, better. I mean, just in great shape. And then goes out and throws a great first outing. I am so excited for Rodon, and I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, Rodon. I don't. However you say his name, I've been saying Rodon, but
Don't matter to me.
yeah, I don't care. I will, but I'm camera shy. Oh, please, Chats, your hair. What hair?
What hair?
What hair? Who are you kidding? You gonna get a hair transplant?
We're off the rails.
Yeah, off the rails already. But no, Rodon, man, yeah, he looked great on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think, there was he gave up like a few walks. I mean, he kind of lost his groove a little bit. But what I liked, though, and some people may disagree with me on this, was that he was still finding the zone. He was still finding that command.
Yes.
He still had 5 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
He looked. I think Rodon did fine. That was like the best version of Rodon that I've seen. And
absolutely.
Yes, it's spring training. I get that, but it's a good sign. I liked what I saw from him.
He was definitely more in control, which is the most important thing with him, and that's what fans don't realize is when it comes to Rodon, it's control and being able to control himself as well as his pitches on the mound in games, and he had both of those working. I mean, yeah, sure, he gave up a home run to Alejandro Kirk. Okay, fine.
Hmm.
But other than that, he was lights out. He made that Blue Jays team look really silly.
Yeah.
And his slider was working great. His fastball was elevated nicely. I mean, I think this is I think this is the year that Rodon has a bounce back year, and I think last year is a fluke. And I think now with the new look, and Matt Blake even said it, that his look and his his demeanor changed this
Hmm.
year.
Hmm. Yeah, no, he looks great. He slimmed down quite a bit. He lost a
Yes,
lot of
he did.
weight. He lost some weight.
John
I'm
Giancarlo
looking.
too.
Yeah, Giancarlo's looking slim as heck too. I keep voicing this. I think with these guys, and especially Giancarlo losing that weight, I think it's going to benefit them. I really do.
Absolutely.
I think it's definitely going to benefit them. And a couple of folks mentioned, like Frederick and Dennis. These guys mentioned Nestor Cortez, who pitched yesterday, and he was giving up some hits, but he got himself out of some jams. He looked pretty good too. I was happy with what I saw. He's the guy that I'm gonna be paying attention to, honestly, because of the fact that he
Yeah.
is coming back from shoulder surgery, and it is a little bit concerning. And we got shoulder injuries are never fun. JJ, listen, I know you're concerned about Juan Soto, but the guy he gets given a hard time about his defense, right? But he wasn't brought to this team for his defense; he was brought to this team for his bat. And him making that diving play, so what?
Who
I mean,
cares?
he's a professional ball player. If
Yeah.
he didn't do that, then fans would be complaining. And as
Yeah.
far as his ankle, he slipped, and he'll be fine. Like he's fine right now. There's no injuries that
Yeah.
we haven't right now. So
And if you touched on something with Cortez,
yeah,
which is something very dear to me, or not dear to me, but something that I can relate to. So, Cortez had a shoulder injury. We know this.
yeah,
But shoulder injuries can be so detrimental to a pitcher,
uh-huh,
especially a pitcher.
yeah,
And I can tell you firsthand because my throwing arm is completely shot to hell. Okay. I have a torn labrum and rotator cuff and a partially torn UCL. So I can relate to that.
yeah,
Those injuries derailed my career.
right. Well,
So,
and I was gonna say I've met people who have had shoulder surgery, for one reason or another, and it's a tough injury because it
yes,
never, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to be negative here. I don't want anybody to have any bad ideas about Nestor Cortez, but shoulder injuries and you tell me, Mazza, tell me if I'm wrong, but they're hard to 100% recover from. Even though you got surgery on it, it's just not. You just got to be
it's
really
not the
careful.
same.
Exactly.
It's one of those injuries that is almost damn near impossible to fully recover from.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I liked how Cortez pitched. My one concern is that shoulder
Yeah.
because you don't know if he just tweaked something on a pitch and it's so minor that we just don't know about it because you don't want him to go into spring looking great like he does, go in, throw, throw in a couple of innings like he did, and then him retweak an injury to his throwing shoulder. That's the
Yep.
last thing you want. And I'm not saying that he's going to do that. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. What I'm saying is that concern for the shoulder has to be in the back of everybody's mind on that Yankees staff because God forbid something happens, right? Um, and that shoulder goes out, you're down a pitcher. Not saying that we don't have the depth to fill it, to fill that hole, because we've got plenty of depth. And you, myself, and Jason and I were talking about this on his stream yesterday. We have
Yep.
plenty of depth to fill it, but it's going to sting because that's the pitcher that we need. So that's why that shoulder injury, you have to have that concern of his shoulder in the back of your mind. And right now, Nestor Cortez is not a great trade chip. And I hate to break that to you, JJ. And the reason being is because of that shoulder. injury. And that's why that's a concern because now let's say they want to go trade him for someone, right? It's going to be harder to because when they review his medicals and they see that he's had a shoulder injury, they may question that. That may be a red flag.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I mean, there could be. I mean, there could be a team that would trade for Nestor if they were in need of pitching.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, shoulder injuries are they're a big concern. I mean, anytime you hurt your
An
shoulder,
injury, yeah.
an injury is an injury. And I wanted to point this out. I wanted to talk about this comment. Yeah, Anthony Garcia, I hear you. Yeah, just because he lost weight, it won't mean he'll be better hitting against sliders. I was talking more from an injury standpoint. That's what I was talking.
Yeah.
I think.
But no, he's got a point.
He's got an excellent point. I do agree with him. My thing was just I think from a injury standpoint that he's not gonna that he hopefully he doesn't get as injury prone as he was. And Dennis, to answer this question, Strowman pitched on Sunday against the Phillies when they had that split series. So when they on Sunday the Yankees played against the Blue Jays, they had one squad play against the Blue Jays, and then they had the other squad play against the Phillies. And
Clearwater
in that game. So
I'm not worried about Strowman. I think he's going to be just fine. And you know what? I've warmed up to Strowman. I have.
Yeah.
At first, I was absolutely no bueno with him.
Right.
But you know what? I've warmed up to him because he truly said, I will take less money just to play for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. Yeah. He left $21 million on the table from the Cubs to come play for the Yankees on a very team-friendly deal. And I'm not worried about Strowman because he's so durable and because he's a bulldog. And he's going to be that nice slide in behind Rodon, or Rodon, or however you pronounce it.
Right.
Which will almost take that pressure off of Rodon. Think about that for a second. As much as that sounds like, but how is that going to take pressure off? Because it's going to take pressure off of him because he knows that he's got some protection in that rotation. Other than Cole, he's got Marcus Strowman to lean on if he needs it. And I think that's going to be very, very key for him this year, is being able to lean on guys like Cole and Strowman, because you never know. Because, we don't know what they talk to each other in the dugout about. I mean, they could be bouncing ideas off of each other, being like, hey, how do you want to pitch this batter? Or how should I go about doing this? We don't know what they talk about in the dugout, but Strowman is going to take that pressure off of Rodon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for no doubt. But they're also at the same time there needs to be some pressure on Rodon because he is the number 2 guy, and the Yankees are paying him well to be the number 2 guy. So, and then Cold Italian Pizza is saying all this talk again about Cease. I hope the Yankees can pull off a trade without giving up Spencer Jones. Let me tell you something, man. They're not giving up Spencer Jones.
Nope. They've already said that. Yeah. They've already Cashman and Cold Italian Pizza have already come out and said Spencer Jones, Roderick Arias, George Lombard, Will Warren, and Chase Hampton are all off limits.
Yep.
They've already come out and said that. So we don't have to worry about that. Because the second someone mentions one of them, they're going to hang up the phone. They've already said that because they value them much more than they do a lot of their other prospects. And for them to come out and say that means that they're probably going to have a spot on this team somewhere down the line.
Yep. And how do you think Strowman did against the Phillies? Because Dennis is asking, how did he do?
I don't think he did bad. I think
he was
the B team.
Out.
Yeah. I mean, mind you, he was playing with our B squad. He wasn't playing with guys like Soto and
he was playing with a bunch of depth players, basically. So
exactly.
More the younger guys, the less experienced. So
absolutely. But you know what? I'm not worried about him. Like I said, I'm not worried about Strowman. I think he is going to give this team the depth in the rotation that they need. He's he's going to be that mentor for the younger pitchers like Cole is. Because look what Cole did with Schmidt. And how well Schmidt
Yeah.
pitched down the stretch. So
Oh
I
yeah.
think Strowman and Rodon could be those mentors. So plus here's the other thing: having Strowman, Rodon, and Cole is not a bad 1 through 3. They're all healthy.
Yeah. What's going on, CWE? Thanks for jumping in, man. How you doing? Hopefully your day's going good. He's saying, I bet Yankee said Peraza was off limits one day too. Well, yeah, maybe I'm sure at some point they did. I mean, because they were envisioning an infield with Peraza and Volpe. And I'm glad you mentioned Clark Schmidt because, as a matter of fact, he is pitching today.
You are welcome.
Yeah, he is pitching today. So I do want to bring up this real quick. Hopefully you can see that. That's the lineup today against the Orioles, or excuse me, against the Rays. Sorry.
Okay.
So you got Anthony Volpe leading off. Austin Wells is hitting second. He'll be at catcher. Everson Pereira is playing left field. He'll be hitting third. Oswaldo Cabrera is playing third base. He'll be at cleanup. Jose Rojas will be playing first base. He'll be hitting fifth. Right field is Oscar Gonzalez. He'll be batting sixth. Spencer Jones is hitting seventh. He'll be playing center field. Carlos Narvaez is batting DH. And then Yorbit Vivas is batting last. He's playing second base. And Clark Schmidt's pitching today. So we'll see what happens today. How these guys do.
Can we leave this up for a second? Because there's 3 guys in this lineup I am very excited about. Excited about. Yorbit Vivas is one of them.
Absolutely.
I think he's got one of the highest ceilings out of anybody on that lineup, not including Spencer Jones and Austin Wells, but one of the highest ceilings. Spencer Jones, I mean, I don't know if you saw him against the Tigers, but he hit a 470-foot bomb off of Detroit at their home park. So
that was just insanity.
That alone should tell you how good. That alone should tell you how good Spencer Jones is. I mean, he turned on that and took that one for a ride. I don't think it's landed yet, but anyways, Spencer Jones is the other one, and then Austin Wells is the other one that I'm excited about. Austin Wells, and I want to get your thoughts on it too, NFE. But to me, Austin Wells could win the starting job out of spring. What do you think?
I've been saying that since the offseason. I'm not even kidding. Like, I've been saying that this guy can very well compete against Trevino for the starting job. And right now he does have an advantage. I mean, Trevino has a strain on his calf, so he's out for a couple of weeks. I think we're coming up on that 2-week mark. So
yeah, I think at the end of the week it'll be 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, nothing urgent. It's just he'll still be ready for opening day. It's just right now Wells has an advantage because he's able to play more games than Trevino at the moment. But I've been saying that since the offseason that I think Austin Wells could very well win against Trevino to start. So
but I'm very excited about Wells though. I think that's the key right there behind the dish.
And Brad, my man, welcome to the chat. And and I was about to talk about this real quick too. And thank you, Brad, for this. Cole will have Trevino catch him. I mean, he has a good chemistry with Trevino. I know he's got a good chemistry with Wardvet too. So, but yeah, more than likely Cole will probably catch him or probably have Trevino catch for him. So we'll see what happens. Wells is better than what scouts say on defense. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's interesting. I think there's probably some truth to that, but I mean, there's nothing been bad said about Austin Wells. Every pitcher that's thrown to him says that they love pitching to him.
Yeah. No, Rodon definitely love pitching to Austin Wells. He raved about him.
Yeah.
So
that's a compliment. So, and Joe brings up a good point, and I highlighted it for you. I'm going to start because I think it's a very interesting point that she just made. She says CWE, Volpe and Wells batting first and second
Real
because
quick, I
they're
was going
making.
to say continue talking. I'm just going to check something, but I could still hear you. I just need to check on something. Continue.
Gotcha. CWE, Volpe and Wells batting first and second because they are making the club and at bats. Jones is not making the club. Joan, I happen to agree with you on this.
Sorry
And
about that.
no problem.
I'm back.
I agree with what Jones said. I do. 100% agree with what Jones said. Spencer Jones is a year or two away from making it, but Wells and Volpe have already been there. They've made the club already from last year. They haven't been told that they're on the team for next year or this year, I should say. But more than likely, they will be on the opening day roster. So to me, and this is just me, she's got a point when she says that.
Yeah, I mean, Stope. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if even Spencer Jones gets called up late, in September. Just let's see how he does today. But if that 470-foot home run tells us anything, I mean,
that was insane. That was flat out insane.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think that ball has landed yet. I think that's still in orbit.
Yeah, and Yankees could go for $480 to $520 million max for Soto. Is that enough? I mean, we'll see.
I don't know. See, with Soto, I don't know if that's gonna get it done.
Yeah.
I think the years wise, it'll probably be closer to 14, give or take, if I had to make a guess. And if you brought that dollar amount up to like 580, 590, I think that'll get it done. I think that's probably really realistically what it's going to be close to. So 13 to 14 years. 13 to 14 years, 580, 590, I think is probably what it's gonna, what it's gonna take. But that's a good starting point. Honestly, if the Yankees are serious and they go with 480, anywhere between 480 and 520 to start off with, that's a good starting point. If you remember, the Nationals.
I think Soto's gonna get paid anywhere from like 45 to 50 million. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. 50 million.
What did the Nationals offer him for an extension? It was like 14 for 440 or something.
Yeah, it was like 14 for 440.
Which was 44 annual or something?
If I do some quick math, because we said what, 440 for 14?
Yes.
Real quick. Nah, that was like 30. That's like 31 million, dude.
Okay, so it's 31 million AAV.
Yeah.
This is more around what will probably get it done. CWE's right on that.
Yeah, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if it even hits 600.
That wouldn't surprise me. If they got to 600 for 14, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Do you have a calculator or something on you? You can do 14 for 600. What that AAV would be?
600 for 14 AAV. I mean, it'll be just a little over 42. But
okay, so.
I think he's gonna get 45 to 50. That's what I'm thinking.
Last year's higher AAV?
Well, let's call it like 600 for 12 years. That would put him at 50.
600 for 12, yeah.
That puts him at 50. I can see that happening.
You know what else I could see happening if you really wanted to be ballsy about it?
Mm-hmm.
Do your 12 for 6. Do 12 for 6, right? With 2 player options for 13 and 14 for another 20 million AAV. Okay, so now you're looking about 640 for 14 altogether if he accepts those 2 player options, with 2 opt-outs after years 6 and 7.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain there's probably going to be a couple of opt-outs.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, but
yeah, if not 2, there's got to be 1.
Yeah.
So,
But if you look at Soto now, he looks way too comfortable in New York,
yeah,
which is good. And that's a good thing.
yeah, and oh, dude, and you see him, talking to Aaron Judge. You see him just having fun. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, I know baseball players are having fun because of the fact that baseball is back and they're happy to be playing again. But you see his chemistry with Aaron Judge,
Yeah.
and you could just see those two guys are just they're clicking, they're talking, they're having a lot of fun. I mean, Judge looks extremely comfortable right now. I do like this chemistry between Judge and Soto, and
Yeah.
I'm loving this 2 and 3. I'm
Absolutely.
loving this
I,
this whole thing of
I don't
second.
I don't know if you saw, but if you remember the home run in during practices where he hit off the batter's eye, and then he
Yeah,
looked over to the guys and just started, bullshitting with them and giving them shit, and then
yeah,
he was like having fun with it. That's what we're talking about, guys. That's the kind of mentality that he has. He wants to be here. He loves it here already. Yankee fans, if you haven't seen him play yet, and haven't gotten a chance to see this man play in person, and you live in New York, try to go see him play in person. I'm telling you, that is a spectacle you do not want to miss. Because
no,
I actually had the great privilege to see him live when he was with Washington, and he was playing the Mets at Citi Field. And he hit a bomb that left Citi Field.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that is a sight to watch. So if
And
you haven't gotten a chance to see him play live, do it.
yeah, and there was a comment from Anthony Garcia earlier. It was hilarious that these Mets fans and the Mets are thinking that he's going to go to the Mets because Steve Cohen is going to. I was like, I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. Do you think the Yankees are just going to let him walk?
No,
Come on,
they didn't trade all that talent and capital just to let him walk at the end of the year. That's delusional thinking.
Right, right, and yeah, and Anthony Garcia, yeah, he did go to the baseball academy in DR to talk to the players, which I think was awesome. He's leading by example, being a good role model to these guys. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
JJ, yeah, he could go for 700 million, but guess what? So can Hal. Hal can match that. I'm not.
Hal could top that.
Hal could
I
easily
don't.
match that.
Hal could be like, you know what? You want to go 700 million? Guess what? We'll go 750 easily.
Yeah, he
And
will.
and that's the other thing. I don't know if Steve Cohen really wants to do that, because remember when he gave Verlander and Scherzer both those big contracts, he got burned out of it.
Right.
And where are they now? Texas and Houston.
Yeah. And like I said, the Yankees didn't trade Soto just to trade for Soto. I mean, they knew what they were getting with Soto. They knew they were getting a generational player. Brian Cashman even said that we know that this guy's just going to be a 1-year rental, right?
That's the comment right there.
Right. He's got to prioritize Alonso, but again, Cashman knew he was going to be a 1-year rental. Like Cashman knew it. He knew it all along. He knew the risk that he was taking. He's fully aware. But again, when free agency hits, they're gonna go after go after Soto. They're gonna do everything they can to sign him back, and they're gonna get there's not gonna be a thing of like, I don't know about giving up this much money. They're gonna pay this man. And JJ, to answer to your question for Yamamoto, they gave him a very fair offer. They gave him a better offer than the Dodgers did, but he just ultimately wanted to play in LA. That's what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
So let's not even say that the Yankees. Why didn't they do that bidding for Yamamoto?
They gave him 30 million AAV for a starting offer.
Yeah, for a start. Yeah, exactly. They gave him a fat offer, and for a guy who's never pitched in Major League Baseball.
You know, Hal said that he was going to give him 32 and a half if he had to.
Yeah.
So let's not go there.
Yeah,
and that's a good point too.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So it's like Hal was ready to spend, and he's ready to spend. He has no problems and spending money, obviously. Yeah, JJ, I'm not giving Yamamoto an extra 50 million, assuming that's who you're talking about. That's no, I'm not. No, I'm not
No,
giving an extra 50
not
million.
for
Nope.
a guy who not for a guy who was unproven in the majors.
Nope.
Because you know what's funny? You know what's funny? NFE. Look at
Mm-hmm.
the Dodgers now. The Dodgers are a train wreck.
Yeah.
They are a train wreck. That rotation is in shambles. They don't have anyone who is healthy on that team right now, except for
Right.
a few guys. So that's the first thing. And I put this out in a series that I did. I'm gonna let you guys check that out, but that's just a little small sample size of it. But the Dodgers are a train wreck. That rotation is not healthy. So
No. No. I.
let's not start jumping on that bandwagon just yet.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I won't talk too much about the Dodgers. I'll say this about the Dodgers. I still think they'll finish at the top of the division. Uh, but the Diamondbacks are gonna sign or not sign. They're gonna give them a hard time in the division for sure.
Yeah,
And the Mets may not sign Pete Alonso. Yeah, for all we know, they may not. Who knows?
they may
But
not.
like I said, I'm gonna worry right now as far as Juan Soto goes. I'm gonna enjoy this 1 year with him being in the Yankees.
Absolutely.
I'm not I'll worry about free agency and all that when all of that comes around. Like we'll worry about that then. Right now, let's just worry about spring training. Let's worry about the regular season. I am looking forward to having this man in our lineup, and I
Yeah.
can't wait till his name is announced in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium and the fans is freaking roaring, man.
Lose it.
And CWE, absolutely, the Mets fans are jealous. And real quick, guys, if you haven't yet, I got 25 people in the chat. If you can, please smack that like button. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers, and I would love to get there as quickly as possible. I love doing these live streams. I love doing videos. I'm talking, yeah. I want the Mets to panic that the Yankees will approach Alonso to replace. Hey, Mets, we got to get your cousin Nick on this channel too, so you can trigger him.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely have to.
yeah, we got to get your cousin in here. When this Chase Hampton pitch, JJ, I mean, look, some people think that he might get called up in September. Honestly, I'd rather see him come up in 2025. Let him continue developing.
Yeah,
That's just me, though.
yeah.
But so we'll see what happens. His head would explode. Yeah, well, that Mets fans' heads are always exploding. They're a perpetual dumpster fire. But Uncle Terrence, yeah, they could be. They could be. You know, so the Yankees. So I wanted to talk about Hal Steinbrenner real quick. So he talked to the press last week, and he said he was very truthful. I think he acknowledged the fact that the Yankees were a disastrous team last year, and that it was just an embarrassment. He knew it was an embarrassment, and so he didn't rule out adding players to the team to improve the roster. Oh, we lost Mazza. So yeah, he didn't rule out losing any players or adding any players to the team, but he did make note of the luxury tax. So he knows that adding any players it's gonna be expensive. But what do you think, man? I know it sounds like the Blake Snell rumors that is just all over the freaking place. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. It's like 1 minute they're interested, they're not making any progress, but they're still talking. Now the Yankees are more interested in trading for Dylan Cease. Um, at this point, here's my thing with Blake Snell. Could it still happen? Maybe, possibly.
Chances aren't high though. I
Yeah,
don't think they are. I think they're tired of Boris and his runaround game of we'll make you an offer, but we're not going to counter you kind of thing. I think they're tired
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
I don't see it happening.
Look, if they add Blake Snell, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be like, awesome. Like that our
Yeah,
rotation is even better than what it is right now. If they don't get Blake Snell, guess what? I'm not losing sleep over it. So take it for what you will. And Blake Snell, I mean, he has to make a. You would think that he has to make a decision by
Like now,
this week.
now
Yeah, by this week because
he's already not getting a full spring training in. He's already
no,
a week behind, and the longer he waits, he's just going to be more behind.
yeah, yeah, and I like I said, he has to. I mean, you would think that he would make a decision by this week because March 1st is on Friday, so we're not far away from. I mean, we're just a month away from the regular season beginning. So,
Don't forget Montgomery too. He's
yeah,
in that
Montgomery.
same exact boat.
What's
But
up? What's up, Caputo? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining in. How you
I'm
doing?
gonna
What's
I'm
up,
gonna
buddy?
tell I'm gonna tell you this. I have
Okay.
a feeling Montgomery signs before Snell, and I have a feeling Montgomery goes to the Red Sox because Alex Cora did confirm that they had meetings over Zoom.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I think Monty goes to Boston. At this point, I think he just adds to that already good offseason that they've had. Again, a little insight to this series I put out. The Red Sox have had a pretty decent offseason for a team that wasn't looking to spend much.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they added Giolito, but I mean they're not going to be the ownership. The organization said that they're not going to spend a lot of money. They're trying to be like a small market team, which is very surprising. I don't know why, but it just that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, they had that Zoom meeting with Jordan Montgomery. I could see Montgomery potentially signing with the Red Sox. It only makes sense. His wife is doing her residency in Boston right now.
Yep.
That could be a possibility. But we'll see. As of right now, it's like the two sides talk, but I mean, who's to say, right? Because talking doesn't necessarily mean it's a lock now. They're gonna sign
Oh
this.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I just
But
want to put
I
that out.
think for them, this was a very nice offseason. For them, I'm not saying for us, but for
Sure.
them, it
Yeah.
was a very nice offseason. So when you hear what I gave them for a grade, don't take it as it's a grade for us. It's a grade for them. It's not us.
Mhm.
We already did our business. We took care and handled business on our end. We've already gotten better. The grade I gave them was because of what they did for their team and their club and what they did to improve their team from last year. So remember, that's what I'm basing it off of.
Yeah, and I want to read up. I want to highlight Caputo's comment here. He's saying,
I'm
"I'm not
sorry.
waiting on a guy forever that can only pitch 5 innings and walks the entire ballpark. It's already been 2 months waiting for this guy." So, Caputo, let me ask you something, man. This is an interesting comment from you. So, have you
It
changed your
is.
tune about Blake Snell because you were wanting the Yankees to sign Blake Snell? If my memory serves me right.
He did want him to, but and to your point, NFE, this is a great point because
Yeah,
why are we going to wait on a guy who can't even go past the fifth inning and who hasn't pitched over 180 innings ever in his career? He's only pitched 180 innings twice, and he won the Cy Young both of those years.
Okay. All right, so Caputo saying he's saying yes if he doesn't sign this week. Okay, then I'm
That's
not.
fair.
Yeah, no, and that's
No,
fair.
absolutely fair.
I respect that. I respect that, Caputo. I can respect.
Absolutely.
That's cool. But no, like I said, I think at this point, look, if the Yankees sign Snell, great. I'm not going to complain. If they don't get Snell, guess what? I'm not losing sleep. I like the starting rotation that they have right now.
Absolutely.
And they got Will Warren waiting in the wings. Okay, they have Will Warren waiting in the wings. So and we'll see. And the Yankees could pull something off at the deadline for all we know. I mean, they might just play it out. With the guys that they have. Caputo putting a freaking deadline on Snell. It's a fair change of mind. Absolutely. And
Zero complete games. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that.
And I want to. And Anthony Garcia says he would be great on the Yankees because Boone loves pulling starters after 5 innings. Yeah, bro, that was kind of my frustration with one of my frustrations with Boone was that the starting pitchers could be pitching so well, and then he takes them out after about 5 or 6 innings, and then goes to the bullpen. It's like that's how you wear your guys out. Like we have an amazing bullpen. The Yankees have an amazing bullpen. They got the best. They had the best bullpen on all of baseball. But yeah, don't wear them down. Don't burn them out. Like dude, that's not necessary. All right. And CWE saying the Yankees should move on from Snell. I mean, that either, like I said, if they move on, I'm not losing any sleep. I'm really not. Yeah, Garcia, exactly. I want to point this out. That's why our bullpen is always gassed at the end of the season. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? We can't gas these guys out, man. We need these guys to be fresh. So, by the time when the second half of the season comes around, by the time the end of the season comes around, these guys aren't spent. It's frustrating. Yeah, Trevor. Yeah, well, with Trevor Bauer, he still has some. Oh, boy. The more I agree with Alec.
Oh, that was great.
We need to have an intervention with you, Tats. Do we need to come over? Do we need to do that? Let me know.
So you want to know what you have to lose? The chemistry. Because right now, Bauer has 2 open investigations against him from his accusers.
Exactly.
We don't need that baggage right now. We don't need that baggage on a chemistry that just got repaired. After the shit that Donaldson and Hicks put us through, we don't need that. I don't care if he's trying to sign for league minimum. I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. I'm not saying he has a bad arm. Right? But it's the baggage that we don't need.
Yeah, and that would be a PR nightmare, man.
That would be. And then having your ace have to answer questions about him every single day. Well, what do you think of Bauer? How's Bauer? Well, is he doing anything stupid? Da, 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 da. Like, we don't need that.
Oh, man. Coming in with the punchlines. Always coming in with the punches. I love it. Yeah, and comment over here. He says, if Snell signs with Angels, he's going to lose anyway and miss the playoffs. So, you know what? Let him go sign with the Angels. If the Angels
let him, absolutely
have at it, my friend, because it's like the Angels aren't going to do anything, unfortunately.
No.
And the one guy I feel bad for on that team is Mike Trout. And Mike Trout, I don't think he's doing himself. I understand the loyalty part because he recently came out and said that. I love that about Mike Trout, but dude, it's like you're an amazing.
You're not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah, you're not doing
Give yourself a chance to win a ring.
Yeah.
Of all the guys that deserves it, he deserves it. It's like when Junior was playing. Out of all the guys that deserved a ring that didn't get one, Junior deserved it.
Damien, thanks for joining.
Damien,
how you feeling, bro? How you doing, my guy? And Oakley Turner. Here's a comment from him. He says he can't blame Boone for going to the pen as much as he has in the past. Some of our starters. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Our starters were not able to eat up innings. And Boone, in some of those games, he had no choice. I mean, yeah, that is true. There was times where, like, I didn't blame him for going to the pen. But then there was other times, and we got our favorite troll. What's up, Li? Welcome in. I love having you, chat, Li. We all love giving you a hard time. I got Li and Caputo. Oh, dude, this is a
Tatz's head is about to explode.
Yeah, he's about to go off the rails now.
Wait, what rails? We never had rails to begin with.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh man, this is great. And Demon D, I love this enthusiasm. I believe. Yep. I love the enthusiasm. Let's keep that positivity up. Another
fair point. It's a fair point.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like Caputo. I think Trout deserves a World Series, and I feel like he could have had a World Series. I thought the Angels would have won a couple, especially when they had him and Ohtani, but they just didn't add. They just didn't build around them. And Artie Moreno, forget it. I could go down a rabbit hole. I'm not going to. So, that guy,
How you doing, my guy?
Who's that?
What's going on, Damien?
Damien? Yeah. Damien, I still got to get your contact information so we can start talking combat sports there, my friend. So, And then with your pitchers, you can carry them. You can, yeah. What do you think of this comment from Joan?
Supposedly, maybe starting next year, the pitchers can try to. You can carry. It's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad idea. I think when you've got too many pitchers in one spot, I mean, you can never have enough pitching, but when
Yeah.
you have too many pitchers in one place, it can get a little overcrowded and it can hurt in a way.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a bad idea. Go from 13 to 12. You might get more from your starters and give Boone and management less of an opportunity to go make a pitching change because it will force them to go deeper into games.
I know. So now that we talked a little bit about Blake Snell, I wanted to touch up on now there's these rumors saying that now they're more interested in trading for Dylan Cease. Again, I don't know if these reports are true. I'm just telling you what I read and what I heard. What do you think, man? We'll start, my guy. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Will?
How you feeling, bro? What do you think, man? How do you feel about that whole thing with the Yankees are now more interested in Dylan Cease? Like, what are you thinking with that?
I told everyone this, and I'm going to say this again.
Sure.
If the price is right, and you get back down to the planet Earth and come back down to reality,
Yep.
and stop asking for guys that are off the table, i.e., Spencer Jones, Will Warren, Roger Arias, Chase Hampton, George Lombard, then we'll talk. But, if you remember the trade proposal that I made 2 days ago.
Yeah, let everybody in the chat know. Go ahead and pull up that. All
right. So the trade proposal that I proposed was Oswaldo Cabrera, because he's just as expendable as anybody else. Everson Pereira, Oswald Peraza. It was Ian Hampton, and then either Jorbert Vivas or Jared Cerna. You take your pick for Cease and Crochet.
Okay, guys, what do you in the chat? Tell me what you think about that trade that Mazza proposed. Again, this is kind of what he has on his mind, right? What do you think of that? I mean, say it one more time, just so everybody can.
So the trade is this. Mm-hmm. Can I actually put it in the chat?
Put it in the chat. Yeah, please do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, while we're waiting for Mazza to put in the trade proposal that he had for Dylan Cease. He's going to put it in there. You guys let us know, like, what do you think?
Oh.
And
sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Leave it. Let's see. While he's doing that, Caputo, Shane Bieber. Listen, he's another 1-year rental, but I wouldn't mind him just because he's a cheaper. He'd be cheaper. You wouldn't have to give up as much. And he's got a relationship with Matt Blake. So
yeah.
And Jesus Luzardo, I'll pass on Jesus Luzardo. That guy's injury prone. I wouldn't want him. I'd rather get Cabrera, and I wish Rob was in here to hear that so I can see him do his happy dance. But unfortunately, he's not here. And Vivas could very well be Glaber's replacement. Absolutely, Damian. Vivas is impressing so far. I'm excited for that guy to be playing. All right. Everybody, you're trolling at this point. Chill out, guys. Chill out. We're just having fun. We'll start Caputo. We'll start just breaking Caputo's balls. So,
all right. So it's in the chat.
All right. So, guys, here I pulled it up in the chat. Mazza put it
you
up.
Guys can take your pick on Vivas or Cerna, whichever one you guys want.
So he's saying. So Mazza's saying that the White Sox get Oswaldo Cabrera, Everson Pereira, Oswald Peraza, Ian Hamilton, and either Norbert Vivas or Jared Cerna. And in return, the Yankees get Dylan Cease and Greg Crochet. What do you guys think? Let's tell me your opinions in the chat. Would there be something that you would change in this trade proposal? Like, what do you guys have? I
Now,
know
now, mind you,
15
if
trades.
you make this trade, right, you are saving the 5 guys that are untouchable. So, if it is to prevent you from having to give up Spencer Jones and end discussions, or Arias, or Warren, or Hampton, or Lombard, that's why I propose that.
Yeah, Caputo's in agreement with you. OG the real, what is good, my guy? What's going
What's
on?
up, man? OG?
What's up, buddy? But Caputo is loving your proposal here, so he says he would do it in a heartbeat. So there you go. All right. He said and Brad is saying he wouldn't give up Hamilton. Then I understand.
That's fine.
I understand. Anthony's in agreement. Will Star loves it. Okay. So Brad, who would you give up instead of like in this trade? Like, okay, I understand Hamilton. I'll
Absolutely. But if you
on that, because I like Ian Hamilton, I think he's a key piece to this poll.
Absolutely. But if you had to give up a piece that you didn't want to, Hamilton would be the guy I would give up.
Yeah. No doubt. But and then Joan is okay. So Frederick is saying Gomez for Peraza. Okay. Joan is saying who's our fourth infielder if you trade Waldo and Peraza. We have a lot of infielders.
We have a boatload of infielders, so it would unblock some of these infielders.
Yep. We don't. Okay, Li is saying we don't need Dylan Cease. Okay.
Respectable.
That's fine. I respect that comment. And
I'd swap Hamilton with Canely.
You know what? I would do that.
I would do that too.
I would do that. I honestly would do that. I would be more comfortable parting ways with Canely than I would Hamilton.
So can I just bring Caputo's comment up for a second and answer this, because this is a fair point. Those guys are just bench players, Peraza and Cabrera, but on the White Sox they would be starters.
Okay.
More than likely.
Yeah. Okay. And let's see. Caputo saying, LI thinks World Series. I mean, they have a better. I mean, I think the Yankees have a better chance of going to the playoffs. We'll see what happens, man. We don't know. I mean, last year they definitely weren't going to the World Series, but they look better this year, Caputo. I mean, they could add another starting pitcher. I would agree. Damian is saying I don't want to, but Peraza has to go. The Yankees are. Yeah, man. I don't like the way the Yankees are treating Peraza, man. I'm not a fan of it, but
I agree with Damian.
I agree with him too, and it's unfortunate. Caputo, you always have injury. You do have injuries, absolutely. It's just part of the sport. And then Peraza isn't a bench player, and Cabrera is a valuable member of the bench, being a super utility player. What do you think, man?
He's not wrong, but he's not entirely right either.
Mm-hmm.
Peraza technically is not a bench player, but the way the Yankees are treating him, they're treating him like a bench player.
Right.
So why not get his full value by trading him somewhere where he's going to play every day and be that starter. As for Cabrera, he is a valuable member, but we already have a super utility guy in a way with DJ, because he can play all the infield positions.
Oh boy. Here we go. This is going to be a lot of fun. Li just lost his mind.
I'm sorry, but I had to bring that up because it's true. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, there's his comment. There you go. You just triggered him. Cashman is too stupid to get creative. I mean, Cashman was pretty creative this offseason there, dude.
Look at what Brad said.
Yeah, Li Cashman was very creative this offseason.
Yes, he
So
was.
I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
dude, but no. And
You're
Damian,
wrong on that, brother.
yeah, and Peraza's, yeah, he's not a bench player, but yeah, they're not doing
Yeah.
his skill. Yeah, I am frustrated with that. And my man Jason,
Jason!
one,
What is up, Jason?
what's up, bro? What's up, bro? If you got a minute, man, let me know.
Come on, Jason. You got to do it, Jason.
Yeah, if you want to join, let me know. Yeah, Cashman did an amazing job this offseason.
Yeah.
And Li, here, this comment's probably for you. He's saying he's not.
I did say, I never said he played the outfield. I said he was a super utility infielder.
Jason, let me, I'll send you the link right now. Hold on.
I got you. I got you.
You got me?
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Tell Jason to check his WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Jason, check your WhatsApp, bud.
Yeah, if DJ's utility, who's playing third? Oh, boy. Here comes Brad.
Oh, boy.
You just had to bring up DJ, and you started something, bro. God.
Sorry, man.
Nah, it's all good. So, Li saying he's a utility player, not a super utility. I mean, he plays all over the infield. I mean, that does make him super utility. I'm just
that's the definition of a super utility. But anyways, we won't go there.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. And here he is. What's up,
Jason?
Man? Hey, we got the crew in here. We got the man. We got
the three best looking guys in the content creator world. But anyways, we'll say that for another day.
It doesn't get any sexier than this right here. So
dude, I'm gonna start posing now. I'm gonna start like trying to model.
Look, thank God we're modest about our sexiness. So that's
key. We just got to get Uncle Tats up in here, man.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Can you imagine that? Holy Christ. Sorry, I'm late, gentlemen.
No problem. You take care of what you got to take care of. I know you got the little one. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right. She's right here with me. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
What's up? What do you think of this Yankee season? What do you think? Do you want DJ being extended? You do, right?
Yeah, exactly. I said DJ was a bench player from when we got him in 2019 when he was hitting 320. So does that tell you about the hate he has for DJ?
It's a shame. It's he may have a little bit of hate. He loves Glaber more than he loves DJ, right?
Yeah.
I mean, DJ. I mean, people are forgetting. I mean, some folks are forgetting. Not all folks, but some folks are forgetting that DJ turned it around in the second half.
Yes,
of 2023. He was looking good. He was looking good.
Yeah, I'm lying down stretching, by the way, so I'm not just lying down farting.
Oh, no, you're good.
That's fine.
Stretch away, bro. You do what you got to do. If you happen to fall asleep, it's all good.
I think it's important to remember that DJ paved the road for Glaber Torres. All right. So I think it's
important. Oh God. But
I've really started this off great.
Yeah. So Jason, I wanted to ask you because I talked about this a little bit with trade Rob Oh my God. But real quick, I wanted to ask you, Jason, the Yankees have been looking good so far this spring training, right? There's who's turning heads for you? Like who's catching your attention right now on this team?
Yorbit Vivas.
All right, yeah, that's who we were saying. Who else, man?
And then a couple other things. Like Ben Rice and TJ Rumfield, they're actually showing pretty incredible plate discipline. They're drawing walks on close pitches.
Yeah.
So these little things are revealing. And the Codys yesterday, Cody Poteet and Cody Morris.
Yeah.
They mowed dudes down, man. And even Luke Weaver. The guys the unheralded guys that Brian Cashman brought in this offseason are already paying dividends. So it's these types of guys. And obviously Spencer Jones. But that's Spencer Jones. Like you kind of grow to expect that from him now. But those I think are the guys that are most visible right now. Like Vivas is really showing us something. Like
No.
he's showing he can replace Torres if Torres leaves after this year.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, Vivas
Mhm.
is turning heads, man. That guy is definitely catching my attention.
He's got a pretty swing. He has
He
a
does.
pretty swing.
Yes, he does.
You know what the thing is? Some of these kids just throw their hands at the ball. Like their hands drift.
Yeah.
Like they don't get that punch. But Vivas has a nice compact swing.
That's true.
Oh man.
Should we be trading Spencer Jones for Robbie Ray or what? What should we be doing here?
Jason coming in with the punches.
No. Here's what we should do. We should trade Spencer Jones for Robbie Ray. Get Robbie Ray, trade him to Washington for Patrick Corbin, then flip Patrick Corbin to Atlanta.
Yeah, and then pay one of these guys and give him like a Bobby Bonilla type of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Give Blake Snell
did you
20-year, $200 million deal.
There you go. Jason, did you see the starting lineup today for the Yankees?
Yeah, I put out a little short on it.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up real quick again.
Yeah, you got Volpe's leading off at shortstop.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Got it.
I'm gonna share it. Because I wanna. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it goes.
So, what's going on, JT? What's going on, my guy? Thanks for.
Volpe to Wells. Giving some of these young dudes an opportunity to figure out what they're going to do on the back end of this roster. So, Everson Pereira, Oswaldo Cabrera, Jose Rojas, Oscar Gonzalez, who's already shown he can hit. So, Spencer Jones is in there. He'll be here until we move him for Robbie Ray. So,
or Dylan Cease, for that matter.
And Narvaez, and then Vivas, man. Yorba Vivas, baby.
Yeah.
And then Smith's on the slab, man.
Yeah, of these names that you're looking at, like which one is catching, like are you going to be paying attention to? Like how many of these guys are going to be?
Well, I want to see more progression from Pereira and Cabrera.
Absolutely.
Cabrera's bat's got to come around more.
Yeah.
Oscar Gonzalez, I want to continue to see because he could be a bench piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see Austin Wells to continue to progress because there's talk now about he has options. So are they going to start him in AAA? Ben Warford doesn't have any options. Ben Warford going to be up here. He was Garrett Cole's personal catcher like the second half of the season. So I don't know. So I'm looking forward to I want to see continued progress from Austin Wells. And, Volpe's doing Volpe things right now. But what are you guys looking for? Oh, my God.
I just see Peraza just laughing his tail off. Oh God.
Jesus.
Oh man. Okay. So Jason, real quick, oh my God. See, it all started with Mazza mentioning DJ.
Yeah.
As soon as it started, I'm like, here we go.
Here we go. And we're off.
And we're off. Of these names, you brought up something interesting, Jason, because you said something about Austin Wells could begin at AAA because Ben Wardvet doesn't have any more options.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because
I don't know
Mazza and I, we were talking a little bit because we're and tell me if you think if you agree with this or not, that he could get the winning job over Trevino. Is that a possibility? Because
he could.
Yeah.
He most definitely could. He's got a better bat. You know?
And he's been able to play because Trevino is out with a strain on his calf.
Yeah, and again, he's a young kid, Wells, and Vorpet's a gamer. He's an expert pitch framer and a game caller like Trevino is. So he's got some benefits too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's chatter right now. We'll see what happens if this is actually going to happen. But obviously we got mad sources. So and people tell us all the time. So our sources are telling us this stuff, right? So
yeah, we have inside knowledge.
Mad people, man, left and right on the inside.
We got people on the inside. That's what we've got.
We're not telling nobody. We're not sharing secrets.
Damien Solano though is saying it would be a huge mistake to send Wells to AAA. Goodbye, Wardvet. I mean, can you see Wardvet not being on this team? Is that a
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I do think they're going to move one or two catchers before the season
yeah?
starts, and I mean, they're not going to move Austin Wells.
No,
No,
So,
no.
no. That would be a mistake. I
yeah,
think they'll probably move Rortvedt if anyone goes.
yeah, and Rorfet's got years of control. He just doesn't have any options. So,
Yeah. And to
um,
Jones' point here, I think Jones is bringing up a point here that they could trade Ben Rortvedt for a lower level prospect,
they
which
could. They could.
I would be okay if they traded him
Yeah.
to get some more pitching.
Yeah.
So
Try
I'd
to
be
get some
perfectly
international
fine with
money. Try to get some international money.
Yeah. Oh, that too. And Clark Schmidt is on the mound today. How are you feeling about Clark Schmidt?
I'm looking at him to do the same thing that Nestor Cortez did and Marcus Strowman, just to get his innings, come out healthy. I'm more worried about the day after. I'm worried today. I want to make sure that Rodon's feeling good. I want to make sure that Strowman and Nestor Cortez are feeling good today. I want to make sure that Clark Schmidt's going to feel good tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but I expect him to be fine. I mean, he's going to take his next step forward in his development, and I think he's going to be. I think he has a leg up in the rotation, the back end of the rotation. So,
yeah, Schmidt. I'm looking forward to seeing him pitch this year. I really am. I think he's going to be solid this year because the way he looked after Garrett Cole took him under his wings, his wing. I mean, he pitched great, especially towards the second half of the the second half of the season. He looked amazing. I'm going to take this off the screen real quick.
He did.
Yeah, he looked amazing in the second half of the season, and he was the only other dependable pitcher in that lineup or in that rotation.
True.
So yeah, both him and Cole. So I think we're gonna see a better version of Clark Schmidt. I am so looking forward to him. And Li even says that he will be the breakout starting pitcher of 2024.
I would agree.
I said that early, like once we kicked off the show, Jason, I said that Rodon and watching him pitch in his first spring outing was such a weight lifted off of our shoulders because of him finally being healthy, being what he's, being in camp slimmer. And Matt Blake even said it, that he has a different demeanor about him now.
He's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove these people wrong. And he's a gamer. He's a dog, man. So that's the type of guy I want a chip on his shoulder. Like, I want him to go out there himself.
Welcome in.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, no,
man.
Yeah, we're talking about Rodon earlier too. I think he looked better. I mean, I know it's spring training, right? But I like the fact that he was, taking control. He was finding his command. I like that. Yeah, there was one point where I want to say he walked like 3 straight batters. But he got himself out of a jam.
Yes.
And that was very important. That was the part that I paid attention to because last season when these pitchers were getting their when they were in these jams with bases loaded, forget it. But again, Rodon in that situation, he got himself out of a jam. Cortez did the same thing yesterday. Cortez, I'm like, great. This is a good sign. And he does need to harness his emotions, Rodon. I agree. Will Star is saying Rodon's going to be great this year. I agree. I think Rodon is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And health is a key for Rodon, but it's not just Rodon. Just the whole entire team needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Health is going to be a key. Health is a key thing for this team. And if they could stay healthy, what's up?
The two guys that need to really stay healthy are Stanton and Rodon.
Yeah.
And what do you guys real quick before I get to Frederick's comment? Li drops a comment here. Per Gary Phillips, Yankees problems today after Clark Schmidt, Will Warren, Chase Hampton, and Nick Ramirez.
Yeah.
Will
Warren got put on the 40-man today.
Yeah.
I think Hampton got put on the 40-man today too. So,
which is nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing Will Warren, man. I am looking forward to him. Is today's game on Yes or no? It's on Bally Sports. Never mind.
It's on Bally Sports.
Yeah, I saw that. And I want to get to Frederick's question here. What do you guys think of Nick Birdie?
I like him.
He's 31 years old. He's throwing 98 to 100 miles an hour. And he's a guy that I think 7 of the 8 bullpen spots are given already. I think he could be one guy to get that 8th spot. So He's throwing darts right now. If he continues progressing the way he is, he could get that last bullpen spot.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. And then what's up, Jonathan? How's it going? He's saying that he thinks Will Warren could make the rotation. How do you guys feel about that?
I think if he performs, if he's just consistent in spring training, he's got every step, every leg up.
So
Mazza, what do you think?
I say that it's absolutely possible. If that's the case and he gets the number 5 spot, then you've got a rotation of Cole, Rodon, Strowman, Schmidt, and then Warren, and then you put Nestor in the bullpen. I don't think that's bad at all. You have 2 swingmen, like Jason was talking about, which would be Luke Weaver and Nestor Cortez, and then you've got your middle relief, and then you've got your setup and closer. I think it's a great problem to have, and I think Will Warren has just as good of a shot to make the fifth spot in the rotation his as anybody else on this team.
Yeah, and then look, I think, and before I get to Damien's comment here, because he does bring up, I like this comment. I don't know that Warren will be on the team for opening day. He's definitely gonna pitch at some point for sure. And Matt Blake even said it. I think the starting rotation, I'm still saying it's gonna be Cole, Rodon, Strowman, Schmidt, Cortez.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the 5.
Yeah.
Now, hey, what's up, Roy? Thanks for jumping in, man. How you feeling? But I do think that if somebody in the rotation gets hurt, that Will Warren is going to be that guy that they're going to call because he's ready.
And to your point, too, I don't think they plan on having Warren or Hampton or Beater throw 180 innings this year anyway.
Yeah.
So
no
have him up the first week. You can get him up in June, right?
Yeah.
Let him continue to build his pitch and his innings and
right.
so on. And then that's why they have Luke Weaver here to be a rover, to be a spot star. That's why you have guys like Nestor Cortez, because Luke Weaver is going to make it easier for Nestor Cortez to not have to go 180. He's going to make it easier for for Will Warren to not have to go 180. That's the whole point of the swingman. So, and I think that's a good thing. And you got Cody Poteet,
Damien
he's
brings
another
him
guy
up right here.
He can throw multiple innings. So, and that's a good thing too.
Yeah, because Damien here is saying that Poteet is a sleeper that the Yankees seem to find every year.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that he was a first rounder. I mean, I was, Poteet, man. I think Matt Blake's gonna do wonders for this guy. What's going on, Norman? How's it going? Soto. I don't think Soto minds batting second, and put Soto 4th. But I think I like having Soto. I like having Soto at that number 2. I don't think. Hopefully Boone doesn't change that. But
so. Yeah. I have a question for both of you.
Sure.
What do you think of Verdugo leading off?
I have, when I was making my own, real quick, when I was making my own lineup saying where these guys should bat, as I had 3 different lineups, I had Verdugo as an option leading off. I mean, I like the idea of him leading off. He hits the ball hard. I mean, gets on base.
He sprays the ball all over the field.
Yeah. What do you think, Jason? What you got?
I think he'd probably be a good idea to lead off against righties, and DJ a good idea to lead off against lefties, a platoon lead off.
So,
and then
you're saying platoon them in the leadoff spot, Jason?
Probably, and then when they're not leading off, I'd have them in that 7 spot or something like that, having a contact bat down at the 7. So now we have a leadoff hitter, and we have a contact bat down at 7, because we need to put the ball in play in the bottom half of the lineup too.
Yep.
So,
you know what's scary?
Go ahead.
You know what's scary?
What's up?
How deep this lineup is, and how many different. It's how deep this lineup is, and how many different options we have that we can plug into different spots in the lineup.
Yeah, how many different.
We have never had this before. We have never had this before. Not even in 2009.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought to think about.
It's a dangerous lineup, man.
So now I want to pose this question because you brought up 2009. How does this compare to 2009? Do you guys think this is better than what the Yankees did in 2009, or about the same? What do you think?
I'm going to say it's better.
Off-season?
What'd you say,
Off-season?
Jason?
You say off season? You talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, because like in 09, they made some great moves this offseason in that offseason. And this season, this offseason, they did the same thing, right? Like the big difference was like they didn't add as many like big names, but in this offseason, like Juan Soto, Verdugo, but then they added, right? But in 09, they added Teixeira, they added CeCe, AJ Burnett. But
Nick Swisher, Damaso Marte.
Yeah. But this season though, they added a lot of depth pieces that are going to help this team win. And so far, like these guys are looking good. It's interesting. I just feel like I feel like with this 2024 team, they're so much deeper.
I think they're deeper, but you're also that off season in 2009 was also added to the core four. It was added to a better nucleus already.
True.
So this season, what you added to the nucleus was better than the nucleus.
Yeah.
So it's different, but I still think they can go far.
Yeah, and Caputo saying that he liked the 09 team more. How does
fair.
everybody else feel?
So I'm going to say that this was probably a better offseason and a more historic offseason. 3 reasons. 1, who would have thought they would have stolen Verdugo from the Red Sox like that without giving up a Torres or a high-end prospect? Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
2, you got arguably the best player in the sport coming in to help Verdugo. Then you went out, tried to get Snell. They said no, so now you pivoted and you go and get Marcus Strowman, who's a bulldog. He's always been a bulldog his whole career.
Yep.
Then you go and you add Cody Petit, Nick Birdie, Cody Morris, a guy who we have not spoken about at all since his signing, Yuri De Los Santos.
Yep.
I mean, they are adding piece upon piece upon piece upon piece. They have done more this offseason, spending less money than they did in 09, which is why I think historically this is a better offseason than 09.
And it was different needs too. Like, we needed more bats this offseason. They needed more arms that offseason. That's why they got 2 pitchers, right? That's why they got a reliever too. So they're different. They had different needs. So, and it was a more relatable team back then. We don't know the identity of this team yet because of all these new players. We knew the identity because they had the core 4 that which we were very familiar with. So, but I'm not taking anything away from this offseason. It could be just as potent at the end of the day. But they had Jeter, they had Posada, they had Cano, they had Pettit, Matsui there. Like they had a lot of guys already built in. Whereas this year we're replacing almost the whole team. So it's a different offseason, but I think it could be just as important.
Yeah, and LI, I mean, they may have given up a high-end prospect in Ricky
I'm not talking like top 5. I'm talking like top 10. Like
they needed
when I say high-end prospect, I'm talking like top 5, not top 10. So top 10 would be low high end to middle end, and top 5 is high end. So
AL East is definitely tougher this year.
I think the 2024 AL East is definitely much tougher than the 2009 AL East by a long shot. And I wanted to bring up this question from Frederick. What we need
Frederick, are you asking what would we need to give up to get Tanner Scott or Devin Williams? Or are you asking what?
I could say for Devin Williams, we're going to have to give up a lot to get him, or Clase for that matter, because Caputo brought up Clase earlier.
Yeah, we don't need Clase.
Right.
Not at the price.
Yeah, that's fair. Some folks like Clase, but
I mean, I don't dislike him. I like him, but at the price, we don't need him. I'd rather go with what we have. I mean, I'd rather add a low key arm than Clase. So, because they're going to ask for. I mean, they're likely going to ask for Chase Hampton. They're going to ask for either Beater or Warren. They're going to ask for a lot of high-end capital.
Yeah, and again, I'm not, and this was brought up on Uncle Tats's live stream about, we can't keep every single prospect.
True.
Right, and he's right, because my thing is just I want to keep the prospects that are going to bring value to this team, and there's those certain untouchables.
Prospects that have a path to the team.
Right.
Spencer Jones has a path to getting here, right? Warren does, Hampton does, but other guys like Cerna, he doesn't have a path. Arias or Lombard, one of them is going to be blocked by the other one.
Yeah.
So we can afford to move one of those. But Spencer Jones, can't move him. Not for anybody that we have that's available now. Doesn't make any sense.
Jason, we were talking earlier about the trade proposal I proposed. We had a bunch of great comments. I'm going to bring it up for you so you can give your input on it, because I'd like to get your feedback. So now I put either Jorbert Vivas or Jared Cerna, because you can take the pick. And actually, I forgot who it was who said, why not trade Tommy Kahnle instead of Ian Hamilton? Brad, thank you.
I would move Kahnle over Hamilton. Yeah, I like Kahnle, but Hamilton's got five controllable years left. I don't want to forfeit that. Kahnle's, he's making about $6 million. You get some payroll relief too. So, and he's a good reliever, but he's older. And if I have to choose between him and Hamilton, I'm gonna keep Hamilton.
Yeah.
So, and if I have to choose between Vivas and Cerna, I'm moving Cerna. Vivas has a direct path to replace Torres after the season. Cerna does not.
Yeah.
It's a game where I like him, but he's way behind these other guys.
I'm interested to see how all these guys are going to play out. All these prospects that the Yankees have. Again, we know that they're not going to all make it on the Yankees. And here we go with the AJ Puck. We'll get to that here in a moment. But I wanted to bring up Cold Italian Pizza's comment here. He's saying that Trent Grisham is going to be an important
he is.
to his team. Oh, absolutely, dude. I'm excited for Trent Grisham. I like what I'm seeing.
Absolutely.
So far.
He's going to get a lot of playing time too.
I would trade Tommy Kahnle and Ian Hamilton.
I would trade Kahnle.
For who?
Yeah, for who? There, Li.
I want to entertain this for a second, because I want to know who he would trade Kahnle and Ian Hamilton for.
Yeah.
For who, Li?
Yeah, and he's Li's been on the AJ Puck train, so he desperately wants AJ.
I mean, Puck is good. Puck is good. It depends on what you give up for him, but they don't need Oswald Peraza anymore.
No, they don't. They just got Tim Anderson, so
yeah.
And JJ is asking if Zach Wheeler wants to be a free agent. Should we try and trade for him? I mean, if he's going to be a free agent,
you don't need to trade for him.
You don't need to trade for him. You're going to sign him.
There's one thing though. Isn't it going to be attached to a QO?
Well, if he gets the free agency, he will be. Yeah. And I'm not going to sign a guy going to be like 35 off a QO. So there's no.
Okay.
Phillies are already extension for him.
So Li is saying I would trade Kahnle for depth pieces and Hamilton for prospects.
So you're going to give up a prospect from prospects? That doesn't exactly make sense.
I don't get that.
I could see moving Kahnle for depth pieces, but Hamilton.
Yeah.
I don't want to move Hamilton. Kahnle, I have no problems moving. JT, I ask that question to myself every day. I don't know.
Oh,
I like and he's saying Hamilton isn't a prospect, but listen, guys, I like where Li's head goes sometimes. I like his outside of the box thinking, but yeah, sometimes Li, I'm like,
sometimes it's a little off the wall.
It is a little off the wall, and
Caputo's not wrong. I'm not giving my whole bullpen for AJ Puck. Absolutely. Yeah. And then he's like, no, I just want to build the team correctly.
What's not correctly about the way the bullpen's built now?
Yeah. What is not correct
We've added
about
4 relievers to a top 3 bullpen? What's not correct?
Yeah. And he did say Kahnle is expendable, which he is right about. Kahnle is just as expendable.
Yeah. He's right about that.
I agree with Caputo's comment here that I think Wheeler will probably sign back with the Phillies more than likely.
Jonathan wants to know if we're going to be live much longer. And if so, he's free to join.
All right. Yeah. Give me a second. I don't know how much. What time we at? Okay, so we're almost hour and a half in. I'll probably be on for like just a few more minutes, and I'm probably gonna bounce out unless you guys want to continue.
I'm gonna wrap up in a few minutes here. I got a little one who's getting fussy.
Yeah, I know. You gotta take care of her. She's
and I got to get ready for work soon. So
for sure. Yeah. So we'll wrap it up here in a few minutes, Jonathan. Sorry, man. Maybe on the next one, dude. But we'll get you going, and I know little one is excited to watch the Yankees.
She's pumped. She's pumped.
Don't want to keep her away from the Yankees.
She's watching Sing 1 right now. I must be talking loud.
Yeah. And Burns will not sign with the Yankees next year. I think he stays with the Orioles or signs with the Dodgers. Could be, Caputo. You might be right.
Could be.
You might be right. Yeah, the Orioles are probably going to make a push to. They're definitely going to push.
Probably.
They're under new ownership, so I think under this new ownership, these guys are going to probably look to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to be cheap. That's for sure.
I don't think he's going to Dodgers.
Yeah.
Just like I don't think Soto's going to go to the Mets.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where all this talk is coming about.
They hate the fact that the Yankees got him. They're going to try to think every opportunity.
And Jason Li has a comment
for you.
What does it say?
He's saying you don't have optionality, and there's too much of a cluster with guys that have to make it or only have one option. So I would like to see them clear some of those guys.
Like who?
Like who, man?
And then Caputo's like, that's not building it correctly. That's dismantling it.
Like Victor Gonzalez has 3 controllable years. Cody Morris has 3. Hamilton has 5. So he's building it with controllable years. That's good value for the bullpen. That way you don't have to overpay for guys like Cease. Cease or Clase or, some of these guys. That's why the value of these controllable years.
Caputo's like, that's not building it. That's not building it correctly. That's dismantling it.
There's a reason why us fans are not in charge of this, in charge of baseball teams.
Look, if you're talking about basic math and economics here too, if you want to have your best chance to re-sign Soto, then you want to have value guys in the bullpen, right? Last thing we want to do is bring in $10 million guys in the bullpen, $15 million guys in the bullpen. Anything that's going to make it harder to re-sign Soto, I'm not for.
Yeah, no way. Yeah. And Soto is going to be a top priority in the offseason. I mean, he's going to be a priority over Gleyber Torres, which at this point I don't think Gleyber Torres comes back, honestly. I know he wants to be a Yankee, but I don't think he will be one. Caputo, I would agree with the statement. He's definitely not going to the Mets. Look, if Soto I'm going to say this. If Soto wants to play for a winning team, and we'll wrap it up here in the next couple of minutes, if Soto wants to play for a winning team, the Yankees are the winning team. The Mets are not. That's simple, right? So what do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And what value is it going to be? They got to re-sign Alonso, too.
They do have to re-sign Alonso, yeah. I mean – the Mets have some, they have other needs that they have to take care of. I mean, their pitching is still a concern. They only have Severino for 1 year.
And Kodai Senga's hurt.
So they're and one of their relievers or starting pitchers, he had to take a personal leave. Who knows when he'll be back. I forget the guy's name, but I think he was another one of the Japanese pitchers. Mm-hmm. So the Mets they have other needs if they're trying to build a team. So Li is saying Canely, Loaiziga, Murnaccio, Ramirez, Gomez, Hill, all guys have one option or have to make the bullpen.
Gomez is probably versatile.
Uh-huh.
He can pitch, he can start, he can spot start, he can relieve. He's one of the young guys too. Luis Hill, also one of these guys could be versatile. Young value guys. And if they're good, they won't need to be optioned.
Yep.
So,
yeah, and JJ, if Soto wants the most money, what then? Then pay the man. That's what.
Yeah.
There's no questions asked.
Yeah, there's really no option here. You pay the man.
What makes you think
you give the man the blank? Yeah, you give him a blank check.
What makes you think the Mets are going to outbid the Yankees that easily?
Yeah, seriously. Why are we thinking that Brian Cashman is just going to let Juan Soto walk? He's not going to let him walk. Like, come on, people. He knew what he was getting himself into. Yeah.
Why?
Why?
And then he's like, why would he go from the Yankees to the Mets? Makes no sense. And then Li actually makes a good point. JJ, this is what you do: pay him. Exactly what you just said, NFE.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh my God, I'm in a Caputo, LI. We're all in agreement today. I love it.
And they have to worry about Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
There's no way they sign Alonso and Soto. Absolutely.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts. Yeah, no, all good points. I mean, yeah, if Soto wants the most money, then you pay the man the most money. That's what you do. It's Juan freaking Soto, generational player,
Yeah.
rare talent, 25 years old. Like, what more do you want? Turning
You don't
26 in
you don't
October.
trade all that talent, all that capital for 1 year of Soto and let him walk.
Yeah. And Li is asking you, and you know why I think Hal pays Soto. Hal was the reason. Yeah, I mean, Hal played a huge role in that. He did. So, but yeah, Soto will definitely sign back with the Yankees. Duh. Exactly. Right, Jonathan. Exactly. You guys are saying everything that I just said. But that's gonna do it for me. Maza, Jason, as always, guys, thank you so much for
Yeah,
jumping
man.
on. This was a lot of fun. We just went an hour and a half, so the time flies by. My goodness,
Yeah.
when we do these live streams. So, thank you guys for jumping on, bringing your viewpoints. I always appreciate your guys' viewpoints. You guys always have a different outlook when it comes to the Yankees and to baseball. Guys, if you have not subscribed to 4Train Express, make sure you guys subscribe. I don't know what you guys are doing. And to my man Jason, of 161 River Ave, if you guys have not subscribed, what are you doing? Jason, are you going to go live after the game? I can't hear you. Your mic.
Can't hear.
Yeah,
Most
your mic
likely,
might
he
be
said.
off, bro.
He said most likely.
Most likely. Okay, cool. So, guys, if Jason does go live, make sure you guys tune in. All right, it's always a fun time when Jason goes live. All right. Again, if you guys haven't yet, let's smack that like button. Share this out. I would greatly appreciate it. If you are new on this channel, please subscribe to my channel. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. If you guys could help me get there, I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Thank you all so much. Stephen B, thank you. You're a great support, man. Love you, dude. Love you. And then Jonathan, another live Sunday. I don't know about Sundays. Sundays are going to be a surprise, so I surprise people on Sundays. But I am going to go live again on Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to see all of you there. And I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time. Peace out, guys.